Yeah, so I've started the recording. Please allow if you are requested. Okay. So last week or so, or during the last session, I mostly covered what are chatbots, what are the type of chatbots, and what are companies doing, and what all you can do from a chatbot, and so on and so forth. So today I want to specifically cover one such platform which will allow you to understand, and probably, let's say if you guys are interested, you can try it out, right? So that is my intention, so that I expose you to a platform, get you a bit of hands-on. You guys can start trying it out. Any doubts you can reach to me. Let's try to build something fun or something of that sort, right? On a long run. So the platform that I personally prefer is DialogFlow. I prefer it for a number of reasons, but it has its own issues. But there's one such platform which can help you build a lot of chatbots across multiple use cases and so on and so forth. So to dig in to the next step, so what is Dialogflow? So Dialogflow is basically, you keep hearing a lot about ML, NLP, and so on and so forth. So basically, Dialogflow is one such platform that allows you to that has built the entire framework. Okay, so let me actually step back to one of the older screens. If you remember, here we had mentioned natural language processing, machine learning, bot logic, information source action, and so on and so forth, and then the messaging platform as well. So what Dialogflow helps you with this, you don't have to sit and create this in natural language processing model to build the chatbot. If you end up doing this and then doing this as well on your own, I'm not saying you will not succeed. The challenge is time and data. So in any kind of AI, machine learning, anytime you encounter any clients or anything of that sort, one thing to always remember is nobody ever commits to a short-term deadline for a machine learning or a natural language processing related developments. The reason being, one, to train the natural language processing models or machine learning models, time and data are very important. You need thousands of sample data, millions of sample data, to make sure that your model is capable of understanding what the users have responded, and so on and so forth. So it is very important to make sure that when you're working with this, you have data and you have time to train it throughout the process, right? So to avoid all that training and to reduce that time and things of that sort is where Dialogflow comes in. So they have a natural language processing already set up in their base. They have machine learning set up in their base. So the only thing that we have to do on top of it is build the use case, the logics around it. Let's say you're trying to build an appointment bot, you're trying to build a meeting room booking, or you're trying to set up a online medical shop, so that users can type on WhatsApp, for example, and purchase medicine or book medicines, right, and so on. So there are hundreds of other things. I just took day-to-day use cases that we would generally notice. I'll come up and I'll also share a few more use cases at a later point. But yeah, so Dialogflow is an NLP based chatbot framework. It provides users the ability to design and develop chatbots with or without code, depending on the use case. So there are two ways here. Uh, when you want to develop a pretty simple chatbot that doesn't have to do a lot, but rather just interact with the user and just collect basic information, there is no complex logics involved. So at that time, you don't even have to write code. So in today's workshop, what we'll do is we will develop a chatbot without writing any code. We'll probably I'll keep a different session for some time later where we'll go on to the code. But because here non-tech people are also there, I want to make sure I'm teaching them a bit of chatbot where they are open to go ahead and try something out in chatbot without writing a single piece of code, right? So that is the intention for today. So obviously, obviously in time, Dialogflow grew to being a platform which Google was ready to purchase. So they basically bought the platform, and now the entire Dialogflow's infrastructure in terms of the backend system, the heavy lifting or infrastructure that they need for running all this natural language processing and machine learning tools and the infrastructure is completely being provided by Google now. So they do not, Dialogflow doesn't have to worry as a platform that where do we get infrastructure, where do we get this, that, and X, Y, and Z. So yes, sorry, I missed a point earlier. While you're developing, let's say a custom chatbot without using any frameworks like Dialogflow or any other platforms, infrastructure is also going to be an important factor. It is not something you go ahead, pull up a server tomorrow, small server and a server, and it will start working. No, it takes a lot of infrastructure. It takes most of us who would be gaming need a graphic, need at least 3 to 4 GB of graphics on the system and stuff like that. So even natural language and machine learning models to process data, they need that kind of hardware or even more. And then coming to speech to text, with Google's help and working with Dialogflow, they also have enabled the speech to text capability. So in a chatbot, you can also enable speech to text, where you just have to enable certain features, and speech to text is already available. You don't have to create something of your own to bring such capabilities as well. Then this allows us to worry less about model building, like I mentioned, and concentrate more on user interaction design and conversation design. Just to give you guys a heads up, there is a role in the IT market right now which is completely about conversation designs. So what is conversation design is today when if any of so for example, the other day I was showing you guys the HDFC's chatbot, right? uh, I said you that they're taking a lot of parameters to show to decide what buttons to show, to decide what question to ask, how to ask, and so on and so forth. That is called conversation design. So today, if someone comes to me and says, I want to design, I want a chatbot to be developed, the first step that I do is I design a flow, saying, what is the user going to ask? What am I supposed to show to the user? How can I reduce the length of the conversation so that the user gets more data in less number of steps, rather than keeping on entering hundreds of keeping on entering hundreds of answers, so that they can finally get that one piece of information, right? So it all is completely dependent on conversation design, and this is a well-known role or designation in a company. If you're good with conversations, you can actually go ahead and build conversations rather than designing the chatbot. Your role can be just designing the conversations. And again, it has to be based on user research, building user personas, and so on and so forth. Let me actually, while we are at it, what I'll do is I will show you guys something. So Bot Society is one such platform which we use to create conversation designs. So they also recently launched a certification program, if you guys are interested in. So if you see here, right, so they're basically designing the conversation. This is the conversation creator. So here they create conversations, and you also are able to see a demo here. Let me see if I can log in. I'll show you one of the chatbots designs that we had built for a client. Nothing big, but yeah. So it helps me reduce. So today, let's say if this is one such client, they came to us and they were like, we want a chatbot, like a small proof of concept or something of that sort. We want to see how the interaction will work. right? So what we decided to do was we were like, let's not go ahead and develop the chatbot directly, because we build it today, customer will come back and say, change this, change that, I'm not liking this phrase, change that phrase, and so on and so forth. So to avoid all that hassle, what we do is we use such platforms to create conversations. So here I come in, I add, right? So hi, what's up? So let's say hi, right? So how are you doing today? My name is Sweetu. So the client, so the company is actually related to diabetes. They, work in and around diabetes. So they were like, let's develop a fun bot that is, I mean, the only the name of the bot is fun. Apart from that, the conversation is pretty stale. But yeah, so they just wanted to name it Sweetu, and then I'm here to help you with all the basic queries and so on and so forth, right? So now I change this. Let's say I save it, I move to the next steps. So this, I come in, I change the questions and so on, right? So here I'm creating the conversation. So left side is what the chatbot is saying, right side is basically what the user has entered. And you can also see you can also decide what, platform do you want to show that in, right? So if it is mobile, you would want to reduce the text, but if they're logging in from a laptop, you would want to choose a different text. So all that capability basically these people provide. So you have these kind of options to showcase, right? So looping is also there. I'm anyways not covering this platform today, but this is nothing but that. So if you see here, you get to see an immediate demo. You can show the client this is how the flow is going to work, right? So if you see here, it's continuously showing. So today, if a customer comes in, I can show him a demo saying, hey, check this out. See what's happening. This is the flow that we are planning to show to the customer. Do you think you want to add or remove anything from it? And so on and so forth. So this is basically what we are doing in terms of conversational flow. Right now, I do it myself for the customers, but if at a later point I think the conversation needs a bit more research, I would generally ask for help from a conversation designer. So currently, we obviously don't have one, but there'll be a point sometime in the future once we have more chatbot related projects, we might have one person who will be whose responsibility solely would be to design conversations and decide what to show, what not to show, how much information to show, and things of that sort. So this is just one sample. So we have a few more, but I'll keep it for another day. So coming to the presentation, so that is nothing but user interaction design and conversation design. I thought I'll just give you a heads up. Then we have features, right? So what are the features of the platform? So we have pre-built bots. So if today you want to understand how the conversations work, how the platform works, what to create, how to create, there are pre-built bots. I'll show that to you in a bit. Which will, you just have to enable them and they just get created on Dialogflow, and you can start interacting, trying it out, changing responses, seeing how it works, and so on and so forth. Then you have small talks. Okay, so then you have small talks. What does small talk help you with this? Let's say today you have users coming and typing, hi, how are you? I mean, because obviously they're interacting with the bot, they're curious how the bot will respond and stuff. There was this one client whom we had developed a chatbot for. Someone from their team basically had was trying to have like a normal conversation with the chatbot, saying, hi, how are you, how is it, what's the temperature like, and things of that sort. And then they were like, thank you for your help. And then the chatbot responded saying, thank you, I was thank you for allowing me to help, and stuff like that. And then the user actually typed, I love you, to see what the user would actually respond, right? So we had made sure such conversations are dealt with as well, because generally people are curious, so you need to be aware that these kind of questions will come in. And these are some of which is small talks. which will allow you to enable a particular response, so that if a user types something of that sort, you have an answer to post it to them, and so on. So that is one. So one-click integration with multiple platforms and websites. So website is something that I showed you the other day, just like a small link. And then you have one-click integration to multiple platforms is nothing but the channels that I was talking about, like Skype, Messenger, Facebook. Messenger is nothing but Facebook. Then there are few more that I'll show you, run you through the platform. They have something known as Knowledge Builder. Actually, let me do something like this. Let me just go to the platform and show. I think that'll be much more better. Uh, so let's go here. Yes. So coming here, so this is the pre-built intents. Sorry, pre-built agents. Agents are nothing but the chatbot themselves. So if you want a chatbot to set up alarms for you, right? So you can add your alarm details over here, and it will probably understand what you're asking what date, what time, and so on and so forth. It will collect all that information, store it if necessary. Currently, these bots are pretty basic, so they don't have any database connection, so you will have to build them. So same. Then you have, if you see here, interact with vehicle payments, currency conversions, event searches. So they have all sorts of bots that you would use on a day-to-day basis. So you just have to probably, if you think, yes, this chatbot suffices what I'm looking for, what you need to do is you need to just enable the backend for it, add extra logic in the backend, work with someone to do that, set up the interaction for the backend, store it, make it more interactive so that someone can actually start using it, right? So all support, tip calculator, and so on. And so you have a lot of options in terms of pre-built agents which you can try out today itself, right? So you just have to click on import, and it will get added to your list here. So then we have small talks. So small talks, like I was saying, let's say if someone is typing, "How are you?" They're saying, "You're so sweet." So these kind of responses is something you can actually enter here. So one such example is about agent. So if someone is saying, "Who are you?" So I'm like, "I'm a restaurant bot. I'm here to help you find restaurants based on your location," and so on. So how old are you? Right? So on. You're annoying. Answer your questions. So they have variations. So here it's about your agent. Here it's courtesy, emotions, hello and goodbyes, about users, confirmations, other questions and phrases. Hold on, sorry, I don't care. So they have all that variation. So let's say if I type something here, and if a user is entering hold on, it will respond saying, let's say, let's try this out, right? See if this works. It's been a while since I built this bot, so I'm not really sure if it will work. Let's see. So who are you? So I'm a restaurant bot. So let me see if I have right? So if you see here, I just type "talk to me" and it says, "Sure, what do you want to talk about?" Right? So this kind of responses basically you can set up, and it will basically respond to it automatically. So this is nothing but small talk. So you don't have to create a few things here. All these questions are already in place. You just have to answer them. And then I was talking about integrations. So today, if you want to go ahead and connect a chatbot to Telegram, Slack, Line, Facebook, this one. So all that is like just one-click integration, and it will be ready for you to use in that platform. Obviously, you will have to do basic setup, but yes, it'll be ready. It's mostly a few hours worth of work, right? And then you have history. What is important in history is, if uh, in a chatbot, important is to understand what the users have asked, and if if the chatbot has not understood the question, you basically see like a icon over here. If you see here, you see this kind of icon, right? Some queries were not matched, so you would see that icon over here directly on the question itself if there are any mismatches, so that you can come here, understand it, retrain the model if there are any issues, and so on and so forth. And then what did we have? Knowledge builder, right? So what is knowledge builder? Knowledge builder is so let's say today we have a lot of FAQs in our system. Let me see if I have knowledge builder. Give me 1 second. I was trying to see if, okay, currently I don't have it. So anyways, so basically what is knowledge builder is, today if a company has Google FAQ. So Google has this FAQ policy, right? So they have these kind of questions. So today, if I already have a list of FAQ questions and I don't want to sit and create these questions, what I do is I probably copy this link. I go here to, let's say, the knowledge base, create my first knowledge base, Google FAQ. So guys, the meeting is going to end in 2 minutes. So I'll restart the meeting once that is done. So I'll post a message in the group in a bit. You please rejoin, okay? It's not ended yet, but let's see. FAQ, right? So knowledge type is FAQ, and then it says CSV or HTML. Let's go with HTML. So I select URL. I place the URL over here. Automatic reload, and I click on create. So what will happen now is, unless there is a problem for it to understand this code, it will create the list of FAQs automatically. Yeah, so if you see here, if I click on view, how does Google protect my privacy? How does Google protect my protect my privacy and keep this one? And then you have this big answer, right? So it has already extracted it, right? So obviously it seems to have understood only one question, so it just took this much, right? But it created something and you have an answer for it. So this is basically it's a feature that is knowledge based, that we already have a lot of FAQ systems or pages built. So why do you have to sit and create the question, type the question, and store the answer in the platform, right? So to reduce that, what they have done is, you just come and put you just upload a CSV file, or you upload a link, and this will be ready for you, right? So that is basically the knowledge base. Now just coming to this. So guys, I'm stopping the meeting now because it's going to end in a minute. Can you guys rejoin, please?